Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to another edition of Bombers Blitz on the College Football Mafia channel. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown. I'm the bomber in the Bombers Blitz. And let me fix my. Oh, it's been a crazy day, last 24 hours. Um, at this point, everybody understands Brendan Sorsby, the Big 12, Texas Tech. And everybody knows I still got the Texas Tech flag up, right? Because I'm here for the fans. I'm here for the super fans, the boosters, everybody else who has supported Texas Tech and this mess that their school has gone through. And I don't think there's any other way to put it. It has been a disaster. But Texas Tech, I think, was doing it for the right reasons. At least I give them grace to say that the administration was doing it for the right reasons, even though they made some really poor PR decisions. We will dive into that in detail. And I don't know, we might wear the subject out. But, anyways, besides that, we had the Protect College Sports Act. That is going in for markup again. It's pretty crazy that the world is saying, okay, maybe this PCSA isn't the stupidest thing in the world. And was this all a giant bluff by Cody Campbell to get people to, in a retrograde kind of way, get people to pay attention to the College Sports Protection Act, whatever that is, Protect College Sports Act, and get attention from people who weren't paying attention at all? Anyway, I appreciate everybody watching tonight. Should be a fun show. We will do call-ins in just a little while after I do headlines. Probably more call-ins tonight than anything else. I'll read comments, questions. They're all rules to what we do around here. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, get involved. Consider becoming a member of the College Football Mafia family by going to College Football Mafia on YouTube, hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when notifications come out, new shows or posts from me and the team. And for that matter, follow me on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, leave comments. Those are probably the most important things to me, your comments. If you want your comment to be read, I can guarantee you reading it if you make it a super chat. We encourage new memberships, gifting memberships to people to join what we're doing around here. And in general, just become active in what we do, because it's not about us. It's about what you guys want and what you guys deserve. And I just try to follow a thread that you guys might care about. It has been a crazy month in college football in general. The Big 12 in particular has had very high highs and very low lows. I'm not going to accentuate the lows because I don't want to draw more undue attention to the conference that BYU belongs to. But there are things that need to be held responsible, people that need to be held responsible for choices. And I think it's really important that we talk about those choices so everybody understands context, because context is everything. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We will also cover any other news that you find is important. The World Cup. I'm willing to talk about the World Cup. If you're here tonight and you are not watching football, not tracking anything on X, please, please, please watch American soccer, football. In the World Cup, it's a unique opportunity for the United States to actually win some games this year. They played extremely well on Friday. They play again this Friday in Seattle. This should be a fantastic game against Australia, but there have been some amazing games in this World Cup, and you don't have to appreciate Premier League or any of the leagues in Europe or even Champions League, even though I think that is the epitome of best competitive football, soccer. This is the best opportunity for the world to really stretch its legs, and where the smallest countries in the world can compete against the biggest in world football soccer. So if you guys want to talk about that, I'm happy to talk about that as well. And I haven't seen every game, but there have been a few that I've seen, and I just want to give credit if that's where it's at. So anyway, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Let's jump into some comments before we get into the show. Just give some responsibility and credit to those who are here early. Ryan Willie, the Evil Badger, longstanding member of the College Football Mafia family, OG member at this point. Hi, College Football Mafia, and he follows that up with a super chat of $10. Thank you so much, Ryan Willie, the Evil Badger in the house. This Evil Badger we'll watch later. I'm going to see something with my friends in low places. Might be calling Baton Rouge. So hopefully the Thunder doesn't roll tonight. Okay? I'm not sure I get all those things, Ryan. Friends in low places might be calling Baton Rouge. So hopefully the Thunder doesn't roll tonight. I wish I knew those inside comments, Ryan. You'll have to send me a text and explain what all that means. But thank you for the super chat regardless. MBM 357. OG member, longstanding member of the College Football Mafia family, saying go Pokes. That would be a local Oklahoma State Cowboys and also member of the Big 12 Conference. Scaven, yes, go Big Red. That would be Nebraska in the house. Another member of the College Football Mafia family saying hello, Bomber. Thank you very much, Kevin. Yes, I appreciate that a ton. Bruce Harslaw. Right, sorry, Bruce Harris Law. Let's get that right. Boomer. yeah, I am a boomer at that. Bruce Harris Law. If you are a lawyer or have any legal insight into sports, specifically college sports, Bruce, I'd love to talk to you offline. DM me on Twitter and let's have a conversation. I have a bunch of legal geniuses around here that help me in my education on learning college sports, but I'm always looking for more. So Bruce, I appreciate you being a member of the College Football Mafia family first, and two, for saying boomer, which another way to say bomber. Hit me up on Twitter though. I'd love to talk legalese around college sports if you want to, obviously. Morris Simmons, another OG member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, hello, everyone, go Noles. Is Florida State, they're going to turn the corner this year. 2026 is it redemption for Florida State. We will have to see. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Florida State and the Seminoles. Everything they do, I think college football is better when they're good or great even. So hopefully they can get it turned around. If not, get your coach fired early so you can get a new change in for 2027. That's not the greatest outcome, but at least, well, I don't know. That's horrible. I hate talking about anything negative about that, to be honest. Daniel, the other guy, Gax, moderator, somebody who helps us out here big time at the College Football Mafia, saying hi, everyone. Daniel's also a member of the College Football Mafia family. Jared Jones saying, hey, all. Good to have you here, Jared. Jared is Ohio State Buckeyes and another member, OG member of the Mafia family. And really quick, let's do shout outs to all those members that are in the house. Next to Jared Jones, you see this little symbol? I think it's supposed to be an S for StreamYard, which is the client we use to do the show. Regardless, it makes them and stands them out as members of the College Football Mafia family. And I very much appreciate Jared and everybody else for being members and help support us around here. And everything we do is for you guys. Member for 18 months, as I said before. This is a member comment from MBM saying one day college football chatter will be free of Tech and Campbell. Yeah, yes. I mean, we have to get through the Protect College Sports Act for that to happen, MBM. But I do see a time when we can actually get past and move into, I mean, we're 2 weeks away from doing previews for the season. I mean, that's how quickly this offseason has gone. It's just insane. MBM, thank you so much for being here tonight. Shonsky in the house saying, hi, everyone. Good to have you here, Shonsky. BYU football representing. Bobby Guthrie, 5398. Good to have you here, Bobby. Texas Tech tucks tail and runs. I think they had to. I'll get into it in just a minute, but I don't think Texas Tech had a choice in this. I think they were sort of forced into supporting, and I said this last week, the temporary restraining order that Brendan Sorsby won last week, I think shocked everybody. But the people that were most shocked are the people that reacted the slowest, and that is Texas Tech. I don't think they thought, I think they thought it was impossible for that temporary restraining order to get put into place. And I say that because their reaction was completely visceral and gut. It was visceral is probably the best word. It's like they didn't know what to do, so they threw out a bunch of support, which turned out to be not the greatest look from a PR standpoint. So we'll have to see. But Bobby Guthrie's got the thread at least. Texas Tech tucks tail and runs. It's a bad headline, but I think that's kind of what happened. I hate it. Bob Swanger, also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, representing the Penn State Nittany Lions, saying, "Hey everyone, good to have you here, Bob. Thank you so much for being here." Kenneth Maynor, another OG member of the College Football Mafia family, member for 11 months. Good evening, everyone. By the way, Kenneth Maynor is bipolar. He either supports the Florida Gators or the East Carolina Pirates. Tonight it's the Florida Gators. Good evening, everyone. Shout out to my two-time Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes. Raleigh is hockey country. Go Canes. Is that who won the Stanley Cup? Kenneth, I don't follow hockey at all. So if they won, congratulations. I'm glad that you're happy about it. I don't know what else to say. Skaven Yes says weather is bad up there, Bombers. He was talking about Ryan Willie. So I hope the weather comes back. I hope it goes away. And man, it sucks anybody to be going through extreme weather. Unfortunately, we're all susceptible to that, right? Anyway, thank you, Skaven Yes for clearing that up. Go Blue. That would be, I believe, the Michigan Wolverines in the house. That would be Bimba 7579 RRFGH. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, Bimba. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, follow and like on Twitter. You do have a little bit of work to do by being around here, but we're looking for those subscriptions, everybody. I'm trying to get to 6,000. We're like 15 short. I know I'm going to have 15 people that aren't subscribed to the channel watching tonight. You guys just hit the subscribe button. You don't even have to really like us. Just help us get to 6,000, okay? That I'm begging you at this point. Anyway, go Blue. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Bruce Harris Law. So he's not saying boomer as in bomber. He's saying boomer as in Sooner. That would be Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Sooners in the house. Sorry, Bruce, if I got that wrong. I apologize. Let's see here. Caden the Diesel Freak. Big time fan of the College Football Mafia family. Appreciate you being here tonight, Caden. Caden says, how's everyone doing? I hope everybody's doing good. Caden, I'm doing all right. In the house, at least. Bulldog, Mississippi, OG member now at this point of the College Football Mafia family. Appreciate you, Bulldog, Mississippi. Thanks for checking on me throughout the week. I really appreciate it. Evening Mafia is what he says tonight. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. Caden the Diesel Freak gifts one College Football Mafia membership. That went to, let's see who that membership went to. I'm trying to see if I can see. Caden the Diesel Freak got that new membership. No, he didn't. Let's see. Caden gifted himself a new membership. Okay, that's kind of weird. Good job, Caden. You gifted yourself a new membership. I'm just reading this now. That's pretty crazy. I've never seen that before. Well, anyway, thanks for becoming a renewed member of Caden the Diesel Freak of the College Football Mafia. I really appreciate you. And that's pretty crazy. You gifted yourself a membership. I didn't even think that was possible. That's pretty funny. And this is the last comment I'm going to get to just off the top of the show. Bob Swanger saying something that I think a lot of people are believing. Doesn't matter. Texas Tech burned their brand to the ground. Let me do this really quick. Let me give claps for Caden. And that sound is not coming out. Okay, that's really weird. You guys can hear me, right? I don't know why it didn't play. That's really weird. That was odd. I don't know why it didn't play. Anyway, and this is it. True. Caden the Diesel Freak says, good karma is coming towards me. And that is something I definitely believe. If you gift a membership, For that matter, if you would do a super chat around here, pay it forward. If you're gifting a membership, if you've received a free membership, tell the person thanks for doing it. In this case, Caden gave it to himself. Otherwise, we just use that money to keep the lights on around here. And those memberships matter a lot because we have member-only content. And Caden knows that because he's been around here for a long time. Skaven, yes. To me, Texas Tech is now an afterthought. Farmer Dave in the house. Good to have you here, Farmer Dave. I'm here to hear all of the unique and innovative takes on Texas Tech as public enemy number one. Go ahead, Farmer Dave. For one thing, if you know me at all, that's not my speed. I don't think at the end of the day, this is something I'm going to go out and just burn Texas Tech to the ground. I question their leadership. Things that really, really matter, I think are important, that we should look at these things, but I'm not here. At the end of the day, it's over, and Texas Tech has to do something to reclaim the momentum they had been building, right? Let me see. Do I have the banner? Let me see here. Where did I go? So this is a question I want you guys to think of as we go through the show. What's next for Texas Tech? They are getting the publicity they have always craved, except it's not all good. But why did it have to be controversy instead of winning a national championship? I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to turn the timer on for 60 seconds so you guys can see it, and we can start off the show with this question. What is next for Texas Tech? In my opinion, I'm going to say what Brendan Sorsby. That was a miss save right here. What Bob Swanger says, doesn't matter. Texas Tech burned their brand to the ground. I don't want to believe that's true. The damage that's been done. So this is the bigger question I have: is the damage at Texas Tech, or is the damage to not Brendan Sorsby? Oh my gosh, that's how in my head he has been to the rest of the world as well. Brendan Sorsby. We need to turn the page on him. Cody Campbell. Who took the bigger hit? And I'm asking you guys this, right? Who took the bigger hit potentially? Was it Cody Campbell for basically underwriting a lot of this stuff? Is it Brendan Sorsby for taking advantage of Texas Tech? Is it the Big 12 for not being harder with their messaging until they were really hard and basically said, hey, we're not going to allow you to do this. And oh, by the way, it doesn't matter how you threaten us. The Big 12 has an AG in Kansas, an AG in Oklahoma, and the last one to do it right before Brendan Sorsby pulled back his application to play in 2026 at Texas Tech. The AG at Utah, not the University of Utah, but in the state of Utah, all of them stood up and said, we're not going to let anybody extort this conference that we have schools in, the Big 12. We're going to back it up. And that's basically it. It's like calling a bluff. And essentially that's what was happening at Texas Tech. It would have been extraordinary to see the Big 12 make something happen, charge Texas Tech countersues, the AG at Texas then backs up that countersuit, and then you have attorneys general at other states that stand up and countersue the countersuit by backing up the Big 12. Oh my gosh. I mean, that was literally close to being civil war in the Big 12. It would have been a disaster, in my opinion. So let's do a quick reset, okay? I'm going to bring this up because you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to give you highlights. First, I want to post the link. So I'm not going to do what I did the other day and tried to read from this picture. I did highlights today. Direct quotes. Highlights and direct quotes from the original post. The highlight, let me get to the, Cody Campbell can't get out of the news. It's so frustrating. But just so we can highlight it, statement from Cody Campbell, chairman of the Board of Regents of the Texas Tech University System. I posted the link to the article, the post, the original content. But this is the highlight of this article. Sorry, this letter written to Texas Tech fans. And I might as well put myself on there because you can't read it either. The highlight is, let me get back to it. The highlight to this letter, we always strive to do what is right, even when doing the right thing is not popular. So that's a quote. You guys can tell me if these quotes stand out to you like they really mean something. Okay. Recently, the situation surrounding Brendan Sorsby has put that to the test. Being right. Brendan Sorsby, Texas Tech, doing the right thing. Okay. Then Cody Campbell says Texas Tech acted with the utmost integrity in following all NCAA protocol, provided complete transparency and cooperated with them in every possible way. So was it Texas Tech fault that they originally gave Brendan Sorsby support? And I'm asking these questions. I want answers in the comments, and I will work backwards through the comments. So you guys follow the thread with me here, and then I'll get to your comments. Texas Tech acted with the utmost integrity in following all NCAA protocol, provided complete transparency, and cooperated with them in every possible way. So Texas Tech, to the letter of the law, did everything with the NCAA and everybody else for that matter at the very beginning. But then this is where we start getting to what really was meant by this. Let me put up a different banner. Let me pick a different banner. I'll pick this one. I'll go back to this one. Our only objectives have to be to protect the well-being and best interests of one of our new students, his fellow student athletes, our institution, and our community. I question that. In fact, I'm gonna let's take a few of these and put them in comments, and then we will go through them one at a time because I mean, just work with me here. Okay, so this is the first one I really want everybody to hit. Cody Campbell writing today to Texas Tech. Our only objectives have been to protect the well-being and best interest of one of our new students. He hadn't even played it down yet for Texas Tech. His fellow athletes, our institution, and our community. Think on that. I'm not going to, like I said, we're not going to break this down by quote. We're going to think about all of these. Let's see. This will let me do this. Let me do this so I can get the next quote. There we go. Let's see, add banner. Here's the next quote. It's too long to even put in its own bar. This decision was made with Brendan and his family. The decision to pull his eligibility to not try to be on Texas Tech squad in 2026. This decision was made with Brendan and his family and is purely an output of practical analysis of this situation. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that? This decision was made with Brendan and his family and is purely output of practical analysis of this situation. There is no practical way to resolve all the various pending legal disputes and ensure his eligibility prior to this date. Did anybody get the idea that Texas Tech was going to drop this suit or at least support, and the AG of Texas, they were going to drop this without some extraordinary pressure from outside? I don't believe that. It's hard for it. I question that, I guess. I'm not going to say outright anybody's being deceptive, but it's hard for me to believe that's true. This is the only viable and fair path for Brendan and his future, as well as for his teammates and our university. So basically, Cody Campbell's saying because there were impending legal issues and it was going to be a mess through the beginning of the college football season, in conjunction with Brendan Sorsby, we've decided to pull our support. In other words, not do that, not follow through on that charge. So you can think on that for a little bit. Here's the next one. What just happened there? Let me bring this up so you can see. Another direct quote. Again, these are all from Cody Campbell's letter. I will repost the link as soon as I have this all out. Texas Tech will not seek return of any amounts already paid to Brendan through his NIL payments. NIL agreements, sorry. So Texas Tech is going to say money's gone, mostly Cody Campbell and their MMR NIL partners. Money's gone. It's a spent cost, whatever it is. And he doesn't say how much they actually paid him. But that money's gone. We're not going to try to recoup it. That is the only answer that they could have done. There is no way Texas Tech goes back and tries to claim that money for their NIL collective. At least in my opinion, it would have taken a horrible situation and made it even worse. So NIL money's gone. And the last quote, and again, I'll post the link to this entire letter. This horrible situation strengthens our belief that college sports need meaningful reform. What does that mean, everybody? You're all the smartest people in the room. What does that mean? What does that quote mean to you? This horrible situation strengthens our belief that college sports need meaningful reform. Everybody knows what that is, right? It's this right here. Will the PCSA, the Protect College Sports Act, become law? That's what it all comes back to at the end of the day. Cody Campbell and Texas Tech were all in. Absolutely all in. There's nothing. They were willing to go to the maximum to try to get Brendan Sorsby on the field. What was it? The second week or third game, whatever it was. There's the link to the article again, or the post from Cody Campbell. I want to make sure everybody gets credit and they can find that. I cannot think of another outcome that would have allowed Texas Tech to claim their position as a leader in the Big 12 and that they could actually compete for a national championship. Somebody was going to stop them. Somebody was absolutely going to stop Tech from doing that. Now, who that was going to be, I'm not 100% sure. I think that there's a possibility that it would have been the Big 12. The NCAA might have tried to sue for a different reason. They'd already ruled them ineligible, but the college football playoff as an entity may have done something about it. I'm not here to beat up Texas Tech. If you guys know if I was here to beat up Texas Tech, I would not have a Texas Tech flag up right now. Some of the best college football fans reside in Lubbock, Texas, and its environs. It's a fantastic school, sets its bar extremely high, but the PR damage that has been done to the brand, and you could argue a lot of it brought on because of things Cody Campbell has done, has been extensive. It really has. I hate to say that, but where do we go if no decision could be handed down from any governing body without, well, we're already without getting a lawsuit and a temporary restraining order? Can anybody think of anything that would stand on its face right now? The Big 12 had to threaten to sue, really go nuclear option, and then get the attorneys general of other states to help them even potentially fight a potential postseason ban or anything like that. I don't think there's another way this could have gone. I don't know. We will find out. I want to hear your comments and what you guys think about it. But this question really has to be the core of any discussion around Texas Tech or Brendan Sorsby. So I'm going to ask a second question. Is Brendan Sorsby going to get into the NFL draft? That's the next thing. The supplemental draft. Do we think that Brendan Sorsby is going to qualify for the supplemental draft of the NFL? Is the NFL going to want him? The bad PR that this has happened since the NFL draft, or I guess he would have had to declare, 3 months ago or so for the NFL draft? There is a conspiracy, and I put this on Twitter right before the show, maybe 45 minutes before. There is a conspiracy that says this was all planned. He knew that he was going to get dinged by the NFL. They definitely do background checks. To get in front of that, especially negative reporting that was about to get out in the public, he announced that he was a gambling addict and immediately went into treatment. I don't know anybody that didn't support his treatment and recovery. I don't remember seeing one comment that says, "Oh, we need to punish him like he's done something extremely horrible to the world." He hasn't. And maybe on a different show, we can talk about why gambling is worse than some really horrible other crimes, attacks on value that have happened. I mean, murder, assault. I mean, aren't these things more important than gambling? In my opinion, they all should be on the same level. I think they all should be punished the exact same way. And maybe we'll get there where everybody's finally going to look up and say, okay, gambling is, because it's an addiction, okay, but we had these other legal issues. Why don't we treat them all the same? So that's going to be an ongoing question. But does Brendan Sorsby qualify for the NFL? That's an open question. NFL analysts have come out to that and said, I don't know. Maybe. He's definitely getting an NFL arm. There's no doubt about that. So you guys got to tell me what you think, if it's a big deal or if it's not a big deal. Let me get to a couple more headlines here, and then I'm gonna get right into your comments. Let's see here. I really like this one. Okay, so a lot of people that I know, at least, struggle with Pat 40. They like Pat 40 or they don't. I know I've mentioned and seen a lot of people that don't like Pat 40's writing, but I want to show this article. One thing, it's easy for me to show, so it's easier for me to share. But let's quickly get to this. This article and this will sum up the talk that I'm going to generate out of Brendan Sorsby. Certainly, when you guys call in, we will talk about it at greater length. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture. Pat 40. Did I just post a link? I think I did. I want to make sure I give credit. There we go. There we go. Pat 40, the headline is Brendan Sorsby's college career is over because the Big 12's mounting pressure. So the Big 12 stood up and was counted, which is pretty cool if you're a member of the Big 12. They haven't had the best PR the last several months, especially with the Protect College Sports Act, and trying to sue the Power 2. Anyways, this article is pretty good. I'm going to summarize, go over a couple of points, and then we'll move to your comments. The conference's firm stance that the quarterback should not play this season could be a blueprint for future league activism. The Big 12 Conference did what the Lubbock District Court would not and the NCAA could not do. It closed ranks, exerted pressure, and helped persuade Texas Tech and Brendan Sorsby there's no longer a place for the quarterback in college football. This was a masterclass in taking care of your own neighborhood. In other words, the Big 12 taking care of its own. Maybe it's even a blueprint for other conferences and handling members who try to skirt NCAA rules by running the court. So everybody knows the world has chased down, and it's been lawsuit after lawsuit for college football, which is why the people have advocated for the Protect College Sports Act, right? They sue. And that ain't cool. Lawsuits eat up cycles, and people don't have time for it. Monday night, and this goes into Tuesday now, after a week of mounting outrage over Sorsby's dubiously gained temporary injunction to play with the Red Raiders in 2026, he decided to move on to the NFL Supplemental Draft. It's the right move for college athletics, even if it now tosses the hot potato into the hands of Roger Goodell and the NFL. The NFL is hardly a league full of choir boys, but welcoming in someone who compulsively gambled on his own sport and own team is not to be taken lightly. Hopefully, Sorsby has a full recovery for gambling addiction. I completely support that statement. Playing for Texas Tech and in the fall didn't need to be part of it. Again, I said that from the beginning. I don't think that was helping his recovery and putting him in a position to be successful. But whatever, we won't worry about that anymore. And it might actually have run counter to it. Thus, an embarrassing chapter in the sport ends without turning the Big 12 season into a sideshow. The whole season, in my opinion, would have been Brendan Sorsby, ... space, everybody else, including Texas Tech. It would have eaten up the entire season for the Big 12. Kudos to Commissioner Brett Yormark and the campus leadership of 15 schools that refused to go along with the scam. I'm not going to jump into that. That's a quote. A scam is pretty hard words, in my opinion. But anyway, they backed up their outrage with a mix of conviction and pragmatism, not backing down in the face of threatened lawsuits, but also not overreacting with a bad plan for retribution. Completely agree with that. And then this is where I'm going to leave this article. Again, I posted the link. You guys can go to the article yourself. But I'll finish with this. A series of league meetings last week made clear that the Big 12 is intent on applying sanctions to Texas Tech if it played Sorsby. As I said Friday night on the Big Freaking Friday show right here at the College Football Mafia channel, I said Friday that the error on Texas Tech part was only in providing Uber support and anticipating the fact that because you had legal backstop, the temporary restraining order, you had coverage to play him in the fall. In my opinion, that was a massive miscalculation, but it only came because they weren't prepared for the temporary restraining order to be upheld. Regardless, that stance never wavered as Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Sorsby's lawyer Jeffrey Kessler threatened legal action. It never wavered as Tech put out a marathon PR video, again, talked about this last weekend, that tried hard to sell and still said too little. It never wavered in confronting a billionaire booster who's disrupting college sports, Cody Campbell. I guess one more paragraph. It helped when other attorneys general from the states of Oklahoma, Kansas, I would add Utah to that list, came out in support of the Big 12, but the bigger statement came from the league itself, which filed a fierce and detailed complaint against Texas Tech, and Paxton, that's the attorney general for Texas, in federal court Monday morning in advance of an executive board meeting. That was a powerful punch that changed the terms of the engagement. Can't leave it there. The rest of the article is very good. I would recommend it. But the point is, the outcome could not have been, of all bad options, this was the best outcome for the Big 12. And then it just comes to what is the Big 12's, what is the story behind the Big 12 this fall? What do you guys think the storyline should be? I'm gonna make that a comment because I think this is the driving force, and I can't spell, obviously. Put a space, didn't mean to after 2. What is the storyline for the Big 12 this year? Let's move on from Sorsby. Is Texas Tech the odds-on favorite still? This is huge disruption in the offseason. Where does the storyline go if Tech loses an early game? Right? Will Hammond, is he going to be in good enough shape for Texas Tech to go out and win 11 or 12 games in 2026? I don't know. These are open questions, but at the end of the day, I think everybody at the Big 12 offices want to turn the page. I definitely think Texas Tech wants to turn the page. And at the end of the day, I think this is the best of worst outcomes for Brendan Sorsby. But what do you guys think? Does he deserve? Does he deserve to play in the NFL this year, the supplemental draft? Some people don't think he deserves to be there. Other people say he won't get picked up in the supplemental draft. These ongoing questions, we're not going to answer them tonight, but everybody needs to pay attention to the details and not get lost in the ephemera. Brendan Sorsby's done. The Texas Tech is done. Texas Tech against the Big 12 maybe is an open question. That's something else, you guys, if you want to talk about, I will read your comments and questions. And then I'm going to open up the phone lines because I talked way too long tonight. I wanted to do it earlier, but I wanted to make sure we got those stories out. And I definitely want to hear you guys' opinions. There is one other story. I just lied to you. One other story I do want to mention before I go to your calls. And I think this one is a big headliner and people should be paying attention to. Let me make it bigger. A post from me. I want to drive content to my X posts, because I'm selfish that way. But Ross Dellinger reports the NFL PA and the NBA PA, which actually is the NBPA, came out in support of the Protect College Sports Act today. Take into account that there is no CBA in the PCSA. There is no CBA unless, and at the end of the day now you have two of the largest unions in the entire world step forward and say we support the we support the PCSA. Acronyms are getting tired. That's amazing, amazing, amazing. So check out that post. You can read the article in more depth, but the letter basically says we're in support of it. There are a couple of paragraphs I guess we could read. Healthy, stable, and thriving collegiate athletics is essential to the future of American sports, including Olympic sports. And this legislation is an important step to achieve that for the benefit of all college athletes and institutions alike. They really like the PCSA for Olympic sports. By utilizing proven models like the voluntary pooling of media rights. That's the thing that everybody's hung up about, right? In the P2, the NBA and the NFL Players Associations are saying by utilizing proven models like the voluntary pooling of media rights under the Sports Broadcasting Act, again, we've talked about that forever, which supports broad, fan-friendly distribution of NFL games. This legislation will support college athletics and ensure fans will be able to access their favorite games across today's changing media landscape. The league looks forward to continue working with congressional leaders as the bill moves through the legislative process. That's not, unfortunately, it's going to be lost in the larger part of, let me bring this up here, by the way, and we'll go here. All right, there we go. That's going to get lost in today's news with Brendan Sorsby and Texas Tech. But it's absolutely a fact that to have those unions behind them means approve and pass this legislation, and then you can support Olympic sports, and we can work towards a collective bargaining agreement and the pooling of media rights, which everybody knows is a passion of mine. Not the pooling of media rights, but the collective bargaining paying and compensating athletes. So check that out as well. It was a fantastic post by those two. The letter is great. And let's just keep stuff moving. That's all I can say. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Let's do this right now. Bang on. Here we go. Live call-ins. Let me open the phone lines, and I will take your calls, and I will go through your comments. Live call-ins now. Brendan Sorsby, surrenders to college football, but will the NFL play ball? Call me right now, 801-899-6203, and I will talk about any of it, the private or the Protect College Sports Act, anything else you want to talk about. Call in now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. Otherwise, I will read through your comments. The rules to your comments is make them fun. Don't be negative to anybody else in the chat. And I always defer to member comments first. General comments I will take second. And of course, the member comments and super chats I always take as quickly as I can as we're going through the show. So call in right now, 801-899-6203. And we will start on your comments while I'm waiting. If you run into trouble and can't get through, please let me know. And I will definitely try to read your or I'll try to make sure the phone lines are working. I think they are. It says on anyway. Scott Pilgrim, good to have you here, Scott. Thanks for viewing. I appreciate it. You're on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter and like and subscribe on YouTube, all that fun stuff. If you're watching on Twitter, jump over for a moment onto YouTube, go to College Football Mafia, and hit subscribe to the channel. We could really use your help. Anyway, this bill will never pass in its current iterations, especially with booking media rights. The bill is DOA in the Senate as well as the House of Representatives. Scott Pilgrim, you may be right. That is very possible. That could be the case. I've been quoted many times saying it's DOA, but I also didn't think it would get to a point where they do a Senate markup. I knew what you meant, pooling of media rights. I understood what you were saying, Scott. I didn't think we'd get this far. I didn't think we could get this many people even participating in the process. Up to now, we haven't had anybody participate in the process. So the fact that the rest of Congress is at least sitting down to mark up a bill, in my opinion, is extraordinary. It really, really is extraordinary. Now, will it be passed? More than likely not. I don't know what the current betting odds on Kalshi are, or Polymarket, whatever those prediction markets are, whether it'll pass Congress or not. But I do know that it's getting way more attention, positive and negative, because of Cody Campbell's influence, and also the importance. Everybody saw how the gambling mess went with Brendan Sorsby. There's more people paying attention to it now than ever have in the past. So appreciate your comment, though, Scott. Thank you very much. Call in now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. Let me get back here, and let me go here, and let me repost so everybody knows we're on. All right. Next question or comment. I'll let you follow up here, Scott. If the SEC and Big Ten manage to get concessions, it may pass. I agree with you. It will definitely have to have concessions. I agree with that 100%. Farmer Dave says Senator Tuberville, the most politician. That's hard to say fast. There's no doubt about that. Tuberville is the most politician. He also is a retired college football coach at Auburn. So I'm telling you, the fact they're even talking about it is crazy. There's no other way to put it. In fact, I'm going to mark this up. Give me 1 second here. Uh-oh. Hang on.
Call from
Daniel.
Daniel Gygax. Are you here? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I'm asking everybody in the comments, can you guys hear Daniel? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Make sure it's coming through. I think you are, but all right, Daniel, go ahead.
Okay. As in the short I did this afternoon, I put a statement on there that I will guarantee, and I have been wrong on predictions on more than one occasion, that I have a chance of making an NFL roster more than Sorsby does. And I'm 51 years old, and I'm really out of shape.
Okay. All right.
and let me explain why. right now, teams are doing OTAs.
Okay.
So if a team needs a quarterback, they would have got one in free agency, they would have done a trade, or they would have got one in the draft already.
Okay. But the
You're
Browns
looking
need
at the face.
the Browns need a
Yes,
quarterback.
but
I mean,
their GM and coach came out and said no.
okay.
And yes, the Browns are probably the most inept franchise in football right now. And yes, I'm biased. I'm a Steelers fan.
Okay.
But picking a quarterback is different than picking up any other position player.
Okay.
2019 was the last time a player was picked up in the supplemental.
That's right.
And that was Jalen Thompson out of Washington State. And the reason why he lost his eligibility is because he failed a drug test.
Okay.
The NCAA drug test is almost like the Olympic level drug test. They look for everything. And the statement on it was that it was a non-steroid supplement. Well, the NFL drug tests are a lot different. I mean, let's get right down to it. Yes, they look for certain steroids, but a lot of supplements that you have are, I wouldn't say legal in the NFL, but that list is a lot shorter of what they look for than what they do in college.
Okay.
So picking up a safety out of Washington State is not the face of your franchise. Picking up a
Right.
quarterback is. Do you want the face of your franchise, somebody that gambled on his team, not only gambled on his team, picked the under on his quarterback for yards for that game, and under FBI investigations for that gambling?
He was
I don't-
19.
It doesn't matter what age he was.
Really?
Not to me,
Okay.
because he, even at 19, I mean, I joined the Air Force at 18. A lot of people join the military at 18.
Right. You're trying
And
to
you've got
find
responsibility.
yourself, right? You're trying to determine who you are as a person.
Yeah. And the thing is, the one thing that they do at all levels of athletics, they say, do not gamble.
That's true.
What's his name? Rick Neuheisel was fired from University of Washington for running an NCAA basketball tournament pool.
Yes, I
Something that
remember.
is done. Yeah, something that's done everywhere. He wasn't betting on football. He was just running a $10 pool for the whole entire football program. Everybody does those pools. And
This is new territory, though.
this is
As
new
far as
territory.
I know, this has never happened in the NFL, where there have been people that have been drafted that have found out later they were gambling, right?
Yeah.
That has happened.
Yes.
But it's never happened before where somebody was going to get NIL money, was going to transfer, have a 1 year, and then go to the NFL the next year, and all these other things on top of the fact he transferred 2 schools. And I mean, this is not as easy a decision as you might think. Now, I want to be very careful, Daniel. I'm not defending Brendan Sorsby. Anybody who's watching right now, if you think I'm defending gambling, you can either keep watching me and take me at my word, or maybe, I guess, quit watching.
Yeah.
That's not something.
Yeah.
It's a decision that people should be held accountable for.
Yes.
But it's not. It's not something I'm willing to throw somebody out for.
But pro sports historically have had zero tolerance. But there have been occasions that guys have got in trouble for gambling. There was a player for the Jets, and I can't remember who it was. In hockey, one player, Eddie Olczyk, and oh God, I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but he was a coach. Both those guys got in trouble for gambling on horses. Both of them were sat down. Both of them were told you cannot be a part of anything with the NHL for a while. I'm going to have to look that coach up now because I'm now trying to remember.
You with me, Daniel?
Rick Tocchet. That's who it was. It was Rick Tocchet.
Okay.
And he was coach at Phoenix. Got busted with a gambling ring that they had. And they were gambling on horses. They were not gambling on hockey. And was tied up into that. He had to sit a year as coach. So leagues are pretty strong on this. They don't want anything that causes an issue with
integrity of the game.
Then yes.
Integrity of the game. Okay. I don't disagree with you. There is no defense for the gambling part, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, the NFL doesn't want a touch of gambling either, but I know they want to win football games. But look what they did to Colin Kaepernick, right? Kaepernick came out and the NFL was zero tolerance, right? And it's their business. They can do what they want with it, but
also he was his last year with the Niners. I'm going to get the record wrong. I want to say that as a starter, he was like 2-9, and they sat him.
Yeah,
I don't remember his record off the top of my head, but it wasn't that good.
He had himself a Seahawks problem. Anyway.
The Niners at the time weren't that good anyway. So let's get right down to it.
He went to a Super Bowl, Daniel.
Stunk. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay, so let's just leave it at that. I wasn't talking about Colin Kaepernick. I don't want to rip on him at the same time. All right, yeah. I'll give you the last word, and then we'll take some more calls.
After you're done here, watch the short that I put up there talking about the
post the link in the chat, Daniel.
I will put the link in the chat.
Please do that.
It is, like I said, the chances of him on an NFL roster for 2026 is the same as me. I'm 51. I'm out of shape. So.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Nate.
I appreciate you. Good. We'll see you later, Daniel. He is Daniel, the other guy, Gax, in the house. Thank you so much for calling, Daniel. I appreciate everybody being here. This is I love this. This makes my heart sing right here. Moen, who's watching tonight. The green burns my retinas. That's funny, Moen. I love the green, but I'm also a Seattle Seahawks fan. So green and blue is where it's at. While we were talking, thank you so much, Daniel, for the call in. That matters a ton. Let me give you a quick clap. Appreciate you being here tonight. And the clap's not working. Not very well. We did have out of nowhere Moen After Dark. The Moen at the College Football Mafia gave 5 new memberships to College Football Mafia channel tonight. Thank you so much, Moen, for doing that. I got to give you a clap. I will give you a clap here. 5 new memberships. All right, hang on one second. Let me.
Call from
Caden the Diesel.
All right, Caden, hang on one second. I need to shout out these new memberships, okay?
Go ahead.
All right, cool. So we got Sam, 8911SK, Bishop Frank Dr. Newkirk. That's a cool name. Benjamin Griffin, Dave Chauncey, and John Mentzer. All were gifted new memberships. Can you put me on mute, Caden, just for a second? I'm hearing myself. There we go. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank Moen in the chat for giving you a new membership. All you have to do is in comments, just say thank you at Moen After Dark. We always try to give thanks around here. And if you receive a new membership to the College Football Mafia, make sure you consider paying it forward and giving somebody else a membership so they also can join the fun of all the membership videos and benefits that we have. And there are a bunch. There's new emotes. There's new little icons you can do, and most of that's because of Moen, and I appreciate him doing that. So please thank Moen in the chat. He has done a fantastic job, and I appreciate him being a partner with me and the Wild Ute. Okay, now I will open up your call. Go ahead, Caden. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, Nathan the Bomber Brown, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing okay. You know, I'm ready to sort of turn the page on Brendan Sorsby, and let's start talking about some 2026 football.
You know what? I can completely agree with you there, Nathan. Burn the bridge down, as they say, on Brandon Sorsby, because I mean that conversation should have never happened in the first place. But you know, college football is a world of shenanigans and stupid stuff that happens, and you know, it never results in anything good. I tell you that. I mean, let's get Brendan Sorsby out of the way. That bull crap can go down the toilet drain.
Okay.
Now, you heard my prediction from last week of the 2026 season for the Big 12, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as Texas Tech, I'm only bring this up because Texas Tech has been. I've been asked by Texas Tech fans on another platform.
Okay.
They need to get their leadership checked, and they need to get their football team checked, because apparently, I don't know if because the game against Ole Miss against Oregon, they didn't seem like the dominant team that they were supposed to be, that they were claiming to be. They need to check that defense, and they need to have the offensive line checked, because they were allowing sacks and they were allowing interceptions. So I'm wondering if there's a miscommunication going on.
Okay.
That's my opinion on Texas Tech.
Okay.
And as far as this season goes, like I said last week, BYU is my number one pick to win the Big 12.
Let's go. I love that. Thank you. I'll take
because
that
they
any
have
day.
proven for the last 3 years, and I've said this the first time I called in, Nathan.
You have.
I had BYU winning it one way or the other. They play physical defense without asking. They play good offense. And their head coach is somebody that I respect in the college football world for bringing together a good football team. And I tip my hat for that. And I told you again, even last season, losing to Texas Tech, that BYU was going to come back and take the Big 12 one way or the other. There wasn't going to be a question about it.
I love it. Let's go.
So as far as the Big 10, Ohio State, obviously, that is with a top-tier defense, the old school uniforms being brought back, but also, you know, we've got a lot better upgrades now. Chris Henry Jr. playing at wide receiver. We still have Brandon Ennis. Our defense is looking good. We have more people coming. Arthur Smith is working with our offense, and it's pretty good. So I feel like our first couple of games in the season are going to go well. And Indiana, they're going to learn their lesson of why you don't tip off the number one team in college football, let alone the former soon-to-be returning national champion Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay.
As far as the ACC is concerned, Miami. Miami's defense plays, and they know they can build that team back up. Mario Cristobal, I have no questions about Mario Cristobal. And fun fact, he was a former teammate of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson back in the '91 national championship team with Miami. Fun fact. A little history fact there, Nathan.
Okay.
And in the SEC, it was kind of interesting this year. And honestly, my pick is Georgia. Even though that they're going through some difficulties with, you know, the whole DUI situation with everything else, and everybody's like, oh, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas is going to, you know, put the conference on notice. out of the SEC, who stayed more consistent on defense, but let alone who stayed consistent in winning the games that they should have won? Georgia. Now, Alabama can claim, oh, Ty Simpson had them. Yeah, but then you lost the SEC title game in a blowout to the team that you already beat in Athens. And then Texas, that's no question. Texas, yeah, they got a lot of things to work on. So Georgia's my pick for the SEC to win the SEC title, Miami ACC title, Ohio State, obviously, Big Ten title. And then, obviously, Big 12 is concerned. That's BYU. Now, West Virginia, I had Daniel Gygax. I'm going to tell you this. Your Mountaineers are looking good, but you've got a lot of things to go. And Rodriguez has got a lot of things to fix and tune up. So, and then speaking of BYU, I've been paying attention to BYU's Instagram on their football, the football team's Instagram and their posts. I do got to say, coach is really keeping up, and those guys are getting ready to play one heck of a season and starting off with Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not going to be – it's not going to be a tough game. It's going to be an easy game. Just as long as I said this a week ago, 2 weeks ago to you, Nathan.
You did.
As long as BYU can play defense early and they can bring the rush against Carr and they can play, they've got Notre Dame on. They got Notre Dame on the run. Carr is going to be running across the field trying to find an open pass. And BYU's secondary, if they can lock them down, it's going to be an easy game against BYU against Notre Dame. And then, obviously, BYU's offense is going to get a couple touchdowns in while the defense does the dirty work. So,
all right.
And as far as West Virginia goes, that's going to be a tough game, but at the same time, you guys are going to come out. But that's going to be I'd say at least a 10-point game, fairly. I'm not going to say it's a blowout because Notre Dame, that game's an easy blowout. To be quite honest.
Caden, I'm going to give you a last word, and then I got to move along to other calls, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine, Nathan. I just wanted to give my thoughts.
No, I appreciate it. I love talking to people that are promoting BYU. That's awesome.
Well, I've been a big supporter of BYU.
You have.
So.
And as we start doing the previews, it'll be fun to break down the Big 12 top to bottom.
Well, the Big 12 is a good conference, but it's just they've got even with that controversy, I feel like the Big 12 is going to be a rise. I told you this 3 years ago, Nathan.
Yeah,
it was going to be a rising phoenix from the ashes.
Well, let's go. I'm ready for it.
And a quick reminder, if you haven't already subscribed to the College Football Mafia, make sure you please do subscribe. You don't miss out on the good content. Nathan Mullen, Professor Wild U, Daniel Gygax, and all the great people at the College Football Mafia are posting out, which includes membership videos, which I happen to have a good favor of. I love the Mullen Confidential, or my personal favorite.
Very good.
Besides the Bombers Blitz. Obviously Tuesday, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with my good buddy Nathan Bomber Brown, who I have a good amount of respect for as a man, but also as a college football fan.
Thank you.
And let me just say, you better please hit the like button because the Decent Free said so. Subscribe, become a member because it's awesome. And hey, you get cool shout outs, membership, super chats. What else can I say except the College Football Mafia is the only college football channel on YouTube. You should be listening for up-to-date news, information, and any breaking news in the college football world, including, BYU, obviously being a powerhouse. And here's a deal I'll make with you, Nathan.
Okay.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
If BYU wins the national championship this year, I will come on here, be a man, and I will tell you congratulations when they win the national championship. Now,
okay. All right.
Now, how about that, Nathan?
I would love. I'll give you a platform when BYU wins the national championship. I love that.
But that win has to come against Ohio State.
State. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. All right. I'm going to let you go, Caden. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Moen says thanks, Caden, as well. We appreciate, it's really important that everybody recognize how dedicated the fandom is of College Football Mafia channel. And Caden's leading the party as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much, Caden. Have a great night.
Hey, Nathan, go Bucks, go Cougs. We'll see y'all next time.
All right. Thank you so much. He is Caden the Diesel Freak. I will give him a hand check. Also, Moen is going to write a check to Caden. He's going to send that in the mail for that fantastic promo. Moen and I swear that's not paid for. So I appreciate Caden coming on and doing that for us. That's really, really cool. I appreciate your phone calls always. I will continue to work through comments. You guys have had some fantastic comments, and we always will try to get through as many as we can. But you can also call in on my shows on Tuesday nights, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. We got to be close to 6,000 subs. We're like 15 short. I got 70 people watching live right now. At least 15 of you have to hit the subscribe button, get us over the top. That would really do me a solid, and I would appreciate everybody who does that. I'm going to work some more comments in while we're waiting for more phone calls. Farmer Dave, I'm guessing is a Texas Tech fan, says, I'm hoping we get a rematch with BYU in December. I would love that, Farmer Dave. I would love to play Tech again.
Call from
Tawtown Hawk.
Tawtown Hawk. How we doing, man, in the Kansas Mirror?
Man, I tell you what, I'm tired right now.
All right.
I haven't slept much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. You know how it is with caretaking for somebody after they get out of surgery. You gotta every 2 hours wake up and here take a pill, or here get up and do a lap around the room.
Yeah. How is that going, by the way?
Great.
Excellent.
Surgery was great, and thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course.
So I might be a little brain scattered tonight, but please give me a little leeway if I am.
Of course.
Number one, because I am a little lost in my thoughts. Before I was on the phone, I heard something about Moen, and I just want to make a comment. He needs to get back on his wardrobe game. That's all I'm going to leave right there.
All right. Moen, you hear that? You got to listen to Town Hawk. You're getting some good feedback. All right.
The star glasses are probably my favorite of all time. That was wonderful. I called earlier in the Greg's show, and a lot of what everybody's been saying, the thing about Sorsby has died down a little bit because of the news that he's moving on.
Right.
But again, we're talking about P2 and the bill, the what was it, the PMS bill, the PCMS?
Protect College Sports Act, so PCSA.
Oh, PCSA. Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep calling it the other thing.
Don't apologize. No, it's fine. It's all good, man.
You know how I felt about it. It's not protect college sports. Protect college sports betting is what it should be called. I think that's what the huge driver is. I'm sorry. I'm going to go off on a tangent. Somebody was making this. ESPN and uses Sankey to put out a narrative, or they put out the SEC's narrative because they are in business with them. Sure. I think that's part of it. But the other thing, and they are on not their first, but their second partnership with a gambling entity in the last 5 years. They had that thing, what used to be called the ESPN, and got rid of it, which is now called, I think, the Score or something. It doesn't matter. I don't use them. But they are now in a partnership with DraftKings. Right. You go onto their app. There's a little button on the side. So
yeah.
all these people that have all these opinions about why it's important to do this or that. If they are in business or if they are taking money from the gambling industry, I don't think they should be listened to one bit. Their opinions are moot because they have a huge conflict of interest. That includes podcasters too. I know we've talked about that before.
Sure.
Your group is, hey, that's why I listen to you guys. You're not a bunch of corporate shills, even though I don't blame you if you took the check.
No, I mean, it would be great if somebody's watching right now or later and they want to do an advertising deal with us. We're always looking for partners. So definitely hit me up. Send me or Moen or anybody at the College Football Mafia a DM, and we would love to have an advertiser. But as we spoke about months ago at this point, gambling will never be a part of that.
You guys might have to hold my check. you might have to hold my check for a while.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? Gambling would not be something we would never do that. So
no. And I've gotten over the fact that things aren't going to go back to the way they were.
Yeah.
But certainly, I don't like the idea of two super groups or just holding on for the next 6 years for the rest of the contract with the college football playoff until they leave. Those two split off and go their own way, because what's going to be talked about for the next 6 years? That's all that's going to be talked about. Oh, are we 3 years away from Greg Sankey and Fatiti going their own way? And I can just see it. I'm already sick to death of realignment being an issue that we talk about ad nauseum for what are we going on? 5 years? Oh my gosh. I'd rather talk about Big 12 football. Although I think it's going to be great. Texas Tech's still going to play the villain this year. I think there's still going to be some media backlash, and there's definitely going to be backlash from the fans every time they're on the road. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm actually just sad we didn't get a play against Sorsby, because I think he would have just been absolute dog.
Well, the pressure on him would have been ridiculous to Town Hawk. I mean, think about it. It's not only Texas Tech pressure or Big 12 pressure; it's national. Like Sorsby would have eaten up the Texas Tech season. It would have been horrible for Texas Tech fans.
Oh, he'd have relapsed. He'd be across the border into Ciudad Juarez doing cockfights.
Oh boy, that's rough. I'm not sure I'm saying that, but I get what you're saying for sure.
But I don't know. Everything else is pretty hunky dory right now. Nothing big. No big problems for my team. As a matter of fact, recruiting seems to be going fairly well. I just nobody's talking about KU this year, and everybody's either maybe 500, maybe a bowl. I think we're in a position to come out and make a little bit of a surprise. And the only reason I say that is the last time we really came out and surprised people, that's because they didn't expect us to do much at quarterback. And, well, Jalen came out with the offense that Coach K. I don't know.
Kleiman?
No,
Kleeman?
no, never.
Who are
Not
you
the
talking
purple.
about? No, I'm guessing. I was just trying to fill a gap for
This
you.
is
I'm
my
not sure
own
you're talking about.
Yeah, it's my own coach, and I told you I'm tired. But
oh,
he
it's
was at
okay.
Penn State last year.
It's all right.
He was at Penn State. Good grief, he was up for the. I know Daniel knows who it is. I don't have my.
There's a lot smarter people that know me. Regardless, as a Kansas coach.
Yeah, he was the same offensive coordinator when they put together their that high-powered offense in 2022 that kind of had everybody by surprise.
Sure.
But we'll see. He's really big on consistency with staff. So you don't see a lot of turnover. I know your coach coach at BYU is the same way. He doesn't seem to lose a lot of people. And I think that's one reason why you see BYU's team plays with a lot of discipline.
Yes.
People know their jobs, they do their jobs, and they're just consistency.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll see that a little bit more of that on the defensive side this year from KU. But I think you might see us go back to more of a running first attack. That'll be interesting. But I think we win 8 games, and that, not in the playoff or anything, but it's certainly better than what we've done the last 3 years. So I'm looking forward to it. And if I get lucky enough, I am going to come out to Utah. But it's early because I can't go to London.
Okay, no, I would love for you to come by. We could definitely spend some quality time together. It's a beautiful place. I'm sure you'd appreciate the trip.
Yeah, I love seeing the settings in different venues. That's one thing I truly love about college football is if you're able to get away at least once a season, go to an away game.
Yes.
And see how other fan bases are. You figure out people are always people everywhere. I just avoid Tampa.
Okay.
That's kind of, that one's a little rough. Their fans are a little rough.
To Town Hawk, I'm going to go. I'm trying to get through a few calls tonight. But why don't you tell everybody kind of how you're feeling after, and remind everybody, because you definitely need the support.
Oh yeah, my mom had an urgent surgery. She had a full shoulder replacement on Thursday, and I'll be helping out at the house doing some caretaking for the immediate future. I guess right now until we get her out of the sling. It's kind of a tough one. You gotta be in a sling for at least the first 30 days. And
shoulders are supposedly the worst. I've had family to do shoulders, and they are absolutely hard on the body.
As long as you make it through, then that's the first thing.
Right, of course.
Get it through,
yeah. Right.
Everything
no,
else is downhill after that. But she's got great spirits, and she's very resilient. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Well, I appreciate you, Town Hawk, and I really appreciate you calling in and following and everything you do for us. I hope the rest of your week goes well, and we will see you soon.
Okay. Thanks, Nate. Thanks to all your viewers who may have sent good thoughts.
Send me are you on Twitter? I can't remember.
Yeah. Not,
right,
not
send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll give you my cell, and we can chat. Any support I can help provide is all I'm about. So feel free to do that if that's something you want to do.
Oh, absolutely. Sounds great.
All right. Thank you, Town Hawk. Have a great night. You bet. Bye-bye.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
He is the Town Hawk, super fan for the KU Jayhawks. And I apologize to all Jayhawks for saying Chris Kleeman, because Kleeman is obviously the coach at Kansas State. That was a fumble rooski on my mouse part. Let me get to a few comments here, then I'll turn the phones back on. The phones are on hold, so if you're calling in this second, just give me 3 minutes to get through a few of these posts, and then I will open up the phone lines again. Farmer Dave says, villain roll fits like a comfy pair of slippers on a Tech fan. I would just ask this, and David Floyd is another Tech fan, very loyal fans. Most Tech fans that I've met are extremely loyal, which is awesome. That's all I care about. As a Tech fan, I was not a fan of Sorsby. There was no need to do this. And John Dry says, hi, y'all, guns up. I just want to say this. Tech fans, you guys have been through the ringer. All I want you to do is enjoy the rest of the summer that you have and get behind your team, because your team's going to be extremely good. And it's going to be a tough season to fight off the Sorsby stuff. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not a BYU fan that didn't want Sorsby to play. That's not where I'm at. And I think most BYU fans didn't want that. In fact, we find it odd that we're not able to play this year. We've got a budding rivalry, and I really appreciate it. So, to all you guys that are Texas Tech fans around here, I'm pulling for you. And I want you to know other people are thinking about your recovery in 2026, and hopefully it all comes through. But I appreciate you guys being here tonight and your comments. I really appreciate that. I'm going to turn the phones back on. I just want to make sure I got to that before I lost it. You can call in right now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. Anything college football, let's talk about it. I did, and I don't know why it took so long. Actually, I'm going to pause the phones for one more second because I want to share this screen. A comment has come out from Brendan Sorsby, and let's just get to it so he speaks for himself. Let me get this off here. Brendan Sorsby via Pete Thamel. Let me take the link. No, dumb. Hit the wrong button there. Here's the comment. So we're reporting just dead quotes from the person who said them. Go from there. Down here, Brendan Sorsby's comment tonight, and let's close the book on Sorsby if we can. I mean, we'll talk about it if you guys want to, but I'd love to move on to other things. I'm grateful for the support from my family, my tech coaching staff, teammates, the community, and so many more. Let me scroll up. So many others who have encouraged me to address and learn more about this important issue. It's interesting. He doesn't mention gambling. So Brendan Sorsby's even trying to walk away from the gambling, which you don't really understand. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, he's trying to turn the page as well. But the issue has a name. And it kind of bugs me because when I read this, when Daniel was talking to me, yes, I was a little divided attention, but it was because this caught me off guard. Not off guard, but it's unfortunate, I think. He has an opportunity here to say, yes, I'm a gambling addict, and I'm trying to do better. I'm ready to turn the page and move on. This is a bunch of obfuscation. And I just asked Texas Tech fans, do you guys feel like this is, it kind of, if this came out against BYU, I would be pissed. Let me put it that way. I'm not a first-person Tech fan. I'm from a distance, so I'm not going to own how this would make you feel. But this bugs me that even though he says my Tech coaching staff, he doesn't say Texas Tech. That's the first thing that bugs me. Second thing that bugs me is he says his obfuscation is learn more about this important issue. What important issue? Doesn't that put you guys off? I mean, you guys, we have some of the best fans in all of college football watching, right? In social media, one of the best families of viewers and members that is out there that I put up against anybody else. Activists, smart people, ask really great questions and go through comments. He does not mention Texas Tech, and he does not talk about what this important issue is. You're a GM for the Cleveland Browns, or for that matter, anybody who needs a quarterback in college. You understand the obfuscation, in other words, the avoidance of the thing, right? But doesn't this bug you that he doesn't identify it? Because it is the thing you guys stood up and said, yes, we will back you up as a recovering gambling addict. Moen, if you're watching right now, this needs to be a storyline on Friday night on our Big Freaking Friday show at 8 p.m. Eastern. Shameless plug. He does not say thank you for Texas Tech. He says Tech. Well, Utah has a Tech. There's other schools in the country that's a Tech. He is wearing a Texas Tech uniform, so maybe there's that. But he doesn't even talk about what the problem is that he's owning. So many others who have encouraged me to address and learn more about this important issue. As my journey continues, I remain fully committed to and focused on being the best I can be, both on and off the field. Brendan Sorsby. I don't want to talk about Brendan Sorsby anymore until he gets drafted or something else occurs that, all of a sudden he deserves our attention. In this case, I think this is a massive mistake. So I put it to you, Brendan Sorsby. Let me bring up how do you guys feel about this comment? I'm going to turn the phone lines on. Call in right now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6220, what, right? 6203, sorry, I was not, I got to get to the phone. There we go. Call in right now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. Call in and tell me how you feel about Sorsby. This is the last time I want to talk about it. Friday night, this is a big deal, and it really bothers me.
Call from
Moen.
Moen after dark. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Good evening, Nathan. How are you doing today?
Well, we're trying to kick ass and take names.
Yeah. Same with me, except it's shooting at raccoons and possums.
Now, see, I would love to do that. I did that when I was a kid. I'd love to do that again.
Yeah, it's not as exciting as it sounds, but
okay. All right.
First off, I want to send positive vibes to Top-Town Hawk.
Yes.
And good luck on his mother's recovery.
Yes.
Second of all, my fashion game has not dropped off. I don't know if you guys saw the leopard print fedora, the multicolored leopard print fedora, just, I don't know, a week and a half ago when I debuted that on the Big Freaking Friday show.
Sure.
That is pure drip. Trust me, Moen has all the drip, Top-Town Hawk. Now we're going to talk about Brendan Sorsby. I can see an NFL team taking him with like a 6th or 7th rounder. The problem is the NFL is going to suspend him at least one season.
There is some indication that could be.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will suspend him for a full year, so they will not be able to play him, see him start. I guess he will be allowed to practice.
Okay.
I think maybe he won't even be allowed to practice. So I think somebody will take a 7th rounder on him and hope he can develop into something. But when the Cleveland Browns say they're going to take a pass on you, oh boy, that is not a good look.
And that was
not
strange
a good look at
because
all.
normally NFL doesn't come out and say stuff like that. Normally they hold that stuff close to their chests. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm sure they probably heard it from the media and the fans in Cleveland, especially
Right.
once this news broke that you guys better not be drafting Brendan Sorsby. I mean, they've got Watson still on the depth chart. I think they plan on him starting this year, for however long he stays healthy. Then you got Shedeur Sanders, and you got Dylan Gabriel, and I forget who number 4 is, but they've got 4 QBs on the roster already. You're not going to add a 5th QB who's not even going to be able to play this year, So
Is there a team out there that you think, if it's not Cleveland, is there a team you think that could take even a flyer, a 7th round, to cost something?
Oakland might.
Really? They just drafted Mendoza.
I know they just drafted Mendoza, but if you can get him at a 7th round guy, and if Mendoza doesn't work out, I mean, it's not. And I hope Mendoza does work out for Las Vegas. It still doesn't sound right calling him Las Vegas, but
yeah, you don't want to cheer against anybody in particular, right? That's true.
Right, but I mean, there's been a long history of number 1 overall quarterbacks not working out in the NFL as well as they did in college.
Yeah.
So maybe the Raiders take a 7th rounder on him. Maybe Tampa Bay takes a 7th rounder on him.
I think the 49ers. are in the
Yeah,
market.
I don't think the 49ers will. I still think after that whole Trey Lance debacle where they gave up so much draft capital, and I
Yeah.
think they ended up getting a 5th rounder back for him. I think they're happy with the QB they got. I don't know. That's Daniel might be 100% right, and nobody takes him.
Wow.
And unfortunately, that's the situation he's in. But I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad. I'm with you. I think we can stop talking about this now and start focusing on the important things like the Protecting College Sports Act
Yeah.
and making sure that it is defeated.
Right.
Tommy Tuberville today.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of good things to say about Tuberville. I never liked him as a coach, especially when he was at Cincinnati. But he stood up today and basically told Alabama and Auburn fans that he was going to be voting against the Protecting College Sports Act. And I think a lot more senators need to stand up and start doing that. I think he knew right away that he was not going to be able to get a vote on his bill. But I think it was political theater to say, hey,
Yes.
Alabama, Auburn fans, your senator is against this.
Agreed. I agree with that. Yeah.
Because the markup came out and they're not taking Section 205 out. And we talked about it a little in the group chat, and I'll say it here, a little inside baseball, but the majority of presidents and ADs in the Big Ten do not want to silo. They don't want to do that.
Yeah, I never thought that was going to be a thing. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bigger push in the SEC for it, but the Big Ten would prefer to continue to play Big 12, ACC, and SEC opponents.
Yeah.
Across all athletics.
Yes.
But, I've got to say it. If this Protecting College Sports Act does get to 60 votes in the Senate, it's probably going to force the Big Ten's hand. And they're probably going to have to break away and rely on self-governance. Greg had a 2.5-hour show today talking about the quick grab list. Because of that Section 205, that they may have to invite teams faster than they had originally intended, just to get them grandfathered in. So it might be an invite for 2029 to begin playing the 2029 season, but they may have to extend it in 2027, if that makes sense, because they want to get ahead. If they want to get ahead of it, because every House seat is up for election this November.
Right.
The majority could change. That majority change could be enough to get this bill. If it gets the 60 votes in the Senate, it may be enough to get the bill through markup in the House and get something going there. So I think the Big Ten and the SEC, you're probably going to see statements from them. If not tomorrow, probably Thursday. The SEC put forth their statement, and it was a good faith statement. These are the things we would need changed. These are our markup recommendations, and Senators Cruz and Cantwell took exactly none of them. Did not give them one concession.
Yeah, I don't quite understand then what's the method to get anything passed? It's like, these things have to be reconciled. You have to give to get. That surprised me.
Yeah, Cruz and Cantwell have both come out and said, well, they compromise.
Right.
But they want the Big Ten and the SEC to compromise, but they don't want to compromise at all with the Big Ten and the SEC. I mean, it's and then Cruz came today and he immediately, in his rebuttal, I mean, Cody Campbell probably wrote that exact verbiage that he said, but he basically admitted it's punitive towards the Big Ten and the SEC. They're out to bust up the Big Ten and the SEC, and not a good idea.
I mean, the Big Ten and the SEC exist in very populated states with, rabid fan bases. Like, Ohio is a huge Ohio State. It's
Sure.
probably 80% of the college fan base in Ohio is Ohio State.
Right.
So, I mean, that's 80% of voters or potential voters that you're going to have to deal with if Ohio State starts pushing and saying, hey, this senator's not supporting Ohio State. It just doesn't make sense to me why they're so gung-ho on punitive action against the Big Ten and the SEC. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, the argument has been, if you pool media rights, does everybody's, rising tide raises like all boats? It seems to be with the Sorsby thing sort of broke the mold. I honestly think we would have been in a different place today if the gambling thing had never come up. I think there was different opportunities that have been missed. And now, as you say, it's extremely unlikely anything gets passed. But if it did, there's unintended consequences. And your outcome is very, very possible. It's tough. I don't know. Everybody else is in no man's land. So
yeah, it seems like such a divisive bill to me. And we just had this great, I think we had a moment of unity in college athletics. Again, at the expense of Texas Tech. Sorry, Tech fans, but
right.
Everybody came together. The ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12. Everybody said this is outrageous. You can't play a player that gambled on his own team.
Yeah.
And then now that that's done, we're immediately back to the wedge issue, divisive political speak that is going to ensure that nothing gets accomplished.
Yeah. 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 The inertia is going to kill it at the end of the day. The lack of forward momentum will absolutely destroy it. But I agree with you. I don't think the silos, I've always said the silos wasn't going to happen. I do think there is an opportunity for next year. Next year's is an off year, right? The president's thing is a year away. They could take the bones of what they're talking about this summer and rebuild it next spring. That is possible. They don't ever take it to a vote, so it doesn't disappear.
It's possible, Nate, but you got to remember you're probably going to have the House at least is probably going to flip, so you're not going to get a lot of agenda done. It's going to be what they refer to as a lame duck. The final 2 years where nothing's going to get accomplished, unfortunately, because that's the way it works in this country now. It's everybody for themselves, and nothing can get done to for the common good. But it's sad, but I mean, it is what it is. And I'll get off here. I'm rambling now.
No. I think everybody listening and really appreciates your opinion, Moen. So don't say that. I would ask you before you leave a final question. You're an Ohio State gamer. You are a member of a conference that is basically untouchable at this point, no matter what the PCSA alleges. What is your personal opinion about the longstanding effect of the Texas Tech brand?
I talked about this a lot last night on Rock Show on College Football Express, but I'll reiterate. I think the best thing Texas Tech could do is just sweep everybody out of there. President, AD, Cody Campbell should be removed as the chair of Board of Regents.
Wow.
Probably get new Board of Regents members in there as well. It's just, I think it's done irreparable harm to the Texas Tech brand.
Wow.
You saw it last night, Michigan. They canceled a volleyball game.
I did see that. I forgot to mention it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's not going to be a one-off. You're going to see other Big Ten schools and other ACC schools and other SEC schools start to pull Texas Tech off of their schedule because it's not. It's a lot of what Texas Tech tried to do. Now, did they ultimately accomplish that? No. But the fact that they tried to, they pushed everybody, they argued with everybody about the Sorsby situation. I think it's just done such irreparable harm to the Texas Tech brand, and that's unfortunate because, I think Texas Tech was a brand on the upswing. But, I mean, it was just such a silly hill to die on, playing a kid who gambled against his own team. It was such
I still think they were caught off guard, Moen. I really don't think they thought they were going to, they did not game theory winning the temporary restraining order. They wanted the judge to bail them out. I'd be willing to bet $1,000 on that right this second. I don't think
all right,
they
But
overreacted.
here's the thing. He wins a temporary restraining order. Texas Tech, he was still on their roster. They could have just said, well, we're not playing him anyway.
Well, I agree with you. No, what I'm saying is they backed into a corner, right? And they put their – if your school is being attacked, the very first thing you want to do is justify your prior decisions. And then the next point is how do we basically not take advantage, but how do we use this, whatever has happened, to benefit your school? I don't think there was a lot of forethought gone into a 5-person 22-minute video that was over defending the same questionable approval from the previous week. None of it makes logical sense what Texas Tech did to me.
Right. Like I said, I think it's just a silly hill for them to have died on. And I think the only way to really correct it is clean sweep. I think you got to get everybody out of there, get new people in there. And I understand Cody Campbell gives a lot of money to the program. I understand that he has made Texas Tech, a playoff team, a national title contender, but I think him especially has done a lot of damage to the Texas Tech brand over the course of the last 12 months.
Okie doke. I appreciate you calling in, Noah. It's great to talk to you. We will talk to you Friday night.
Yep, we'll see you Friday, and I'll have the drip on.
No problem. Thank you so much, Moen. He is Moen After Dark, calling in and backing me up, as he always does here at the College Football Mafia. Thank you so much for that calling, insightful opinions. At the end of the day, whether you agree with Moen or not, at least we're all engaging in conversation, right? That's the most important thing. I want to also recognize this. I think this was spot on. Everybody in this situation has been a hypocrite to some extent. I wanted to get to this one because John Dry is calling it out, and I think he's exactly right. We all deal in hyperbole. But John Dry says everyone's done talking about Sorsby, but everyone will talk about Texas Tech all year. I think there's something to that. I also believe that in this case, the social impact, and this is why the same reason I don't think there's ever a P2, and why I think silos is extremely unlikely. It's because whether it's gambling, which is the first time I think in forever I've ever seen the entire college football world unite against one thing so emphatically, which is gambling, regardless of who it was. But now we're looking forward and we say, okay, how do we make things better? The world says, okay, but we're going to unite against this one thing. But to do that, it means other things we have to put together, whether it's media rights or everybody using the same rules. Something is going to change the dynamic, in my opinion. And Moen seems to think the brand of Texas Tech may have been dealt a death blow based on what's happened in the last 12 months. Cody Campbell, his activism. Man, I don't know. But I would prefer the Brendan Sorsby thing go away, John Dry. I don't want to spend a mile a minute talking about it. In fact, I was going to drop Sorsby for the second half of the show until I noticed his comment, and it just blows me away. They're not, and I realize you're giving him some grace because he's a Texas Tech fan, but put yourself in the position of a Wake Forest fan, John, or any Texas Tech fans. You guys are all out there. And you saw this statement, and I'm going to bring it up again. I'm going to stop sharing this off. And I just can't let this lie. I don't understand the thinking behind a statement like this, which is Brendan Sorsby saying, I'm grateful for the support, which was unconditional, by the way, at Texas Tech. Some people regret that decision, but it was unconditional. My Tech coaching staff, Tech who, you make up your mind, staff, teammates, the community, and so many others who have encouraged me to address and learn more about this important issue. What issue? You didn't know how to tie your shoes? In my opinion, look, this is not how you respect the school that you've given your time and has provided unconditional support. This important issue. As my journey continues, and you could slip in there, my applying for the NFL Supplemental Draft, I remain fully committed to and focused on being the best I can be, both on and off the field. I mean, so frustrated with that. All right, I'm going to turn the phone lines on. I'm going to open it up for a few more minutes. I appreciate everybody who's called in tonight. Between now and the end of the show, if nobody calls in, I will shut it down in 8 minutes. So you have 8 minutes, everybody, to call me on live or to leave comments. I read all super chats and any other comments I happen to have marked. I'll try to get to as many as I can. And then, of course, I appreciate all the member comments and all the members to the College Football Mafia who are watching me tonight. It's been a lively show. I appreciate everybody's opinions. Thank you for being here tonight. Farmer Dave, again, an avowed Texas Tech Red Raider, says, I'd like to see promotion relegation model like English soccer. I'm a proponent of that as well, Farmer Dave. If the starting tiers are essentially the A4, I'm good with that. That's 67, 68 teams, 68, I think. Throw 4 more in, you get to 72. Promotion relegation. The only way it would get passed is if the relegation could not happen from an A4 conference. That's the only way you're going to get an ACC or even a Big 12 to sign on to something like that, is because they don't want their teams to be relegated. That's my opinion. There's lots of ideas out there, but that would be the biggest downside, in my opinion, that they would look for. Anyway, thank you for the comment so much, Farmer Dave. Bulls fan 2007 says, let him go to the Jets and work out from there. That's funny. Call in right now, 801-899-6203. 801-899-6203. Let's see here. Stormy Cyclone representing the Iowa State Cyclones in the house, saying, hey, Bomber. Stormy's got the idea, not only as a member of the College Football Mafia family, but he knows you use my name in a comment, and generally I grab those and I display those comments. It's a bit of a hack, life hack. MBM earlier said if the feds get involved, Sorsby won't be playing any position but apprentice. That would be HVAC guy. That's people dealing with the home. What's that stand for? VAC, I know, is air conditioning. Home, I'm not sure what the V stands for, to be honest. But, yeah, MBM saying he won't be playing anytime soon. Moen thinks that Sorsby will be, a year suspended in the NFL? Whether he's drafted in the supplemental draft or not. That's certainly a take. Old Texas Tech man. Also, somebody who's become a valuable viewer, if not a member of the College Football Mafia family. Appreciate you being here, man. I still think Cincinnati and Indiana needs to be investigated. In the same vein, I don't understand why the FBI didn't investigate Sorsby? Can somebody explain that to me? I'm not going to get into all the nuts and bolts of his gambling, but across states lines, underage, having other third parties bet for him. That's got to be FBI. What are we doing? How did it even get to a point where a temporary restraining order becomes a thing? That I don't understand. That has nothing to do with Texas Tech. Why didn't Texas Tech do a background check on a guy you're going to give $5 million to? That's another thing. I just don't. These are things that make you go, I just don't understand. 801-899-6203. 801-899-6203. Moen corrects me. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning. Thank you, Moen. Let's see. Farmer Dave again says, as a Tech alumni, this message doesn't offend me, nor does it impress. He said nothing. All right, that's fair. It's absolutely fair. Let's see here. Let me get to a few more starred comments that I've had. Bob Swanger earlier. Bob, thanks for being here tonight. Gambling goes to the heart of the integrity of the game. Totally true. All I'm asking for is let's even out all the problems that deserve playoff bans and stuff like this. I mean, there are some real heinous crimes that are out there that, in my opinion, if you commit those crimes, you should not be rewarded with an NFL call-up or an NIL deal. That's my opinion. Hate me, love me, doesn't matter. That's how I look at it. I just don't understand how laws are broken, and yet college football trumps everything. Really bugs me. Bulldog, Mississippi. Well, Sorsby and Texas Tech aren't the problem now. The problem is this crazy court ruling exists now. It sets a precedence for all future situations like this. Very good. Let's see here. Earlier, Bob Swanger says, Bomber, all that will do is push the SEC and Big Ten into silos quicker. Okay. I'm on record. I'm not a real believer of the silos, but I get what you're saying there. Bob Swanger, believe me. Let's see if there's any others. Counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to call it good. I'm going to shut off the phones. Thanks, everybody, for calling in tonight. I appreciate you calling in on another College Football Mafia Bombers Blitz. Thank you so much for all the member comments, all the new viewers. If you're on X, do us a favor, jump over on YouTube and hit the subscribe button and consider becoming a member of the College Football Mafia family. I appreciate you all being here tonight. Stay out of trouble this evening. Make sure you subscribe to the College Football Mafia family and turn on your notifications. That way when our new members videos pops up, our live member videos, which I think I'm going to do one next week. And everything else that we do around here for the viewers, it's not for our own gratification, I promise you. It is fun for us, but we do it to interact with you, and I'm very grateful for you. Everybody else, stay out of trouble. Have a great evening, and I will see you on Friday night, Big Freaking Friday. Everybody have a great night, and make sure you shout out or say hi or text or call somebody if their face or name jumps in your head. That's inspiration. Take advantage of it. I guarantee you'll pick up those people on tomorrow, today, the rest of the week. They will feel better because you said hi to them. Thank you so much. Go Cougs. I'm going to say peace out. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, College Football Mafia. Have a great week. We'll